It's 9 p.m. in RTD time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have Djibouti Corporation's China high-level Chinese delegations to work at Djibouti. For the international scene, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un historical meetings in the demilitarized zone. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, addressed yesterday, Saturday, some messages of congratulatory to the newly elected President of the Mauritania, Mr. Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. In his telegrams of congratulations, President Guelleh held a brilliant victory, signs of the important membership of Mauritanians around the leadership advocated by Mr. Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. Your perfect knowledge of the mysteries of power and your masteries of the main issues on the agenda in your country will be invaluable for you to fulfill your missions to lead your country. Mauritania is in the path of progress and sustainable development, wrote the Djiboutian president. I sincerely hope that your action at the head of your country will lead to a full success and to the happy prospect of Mauritania breaking new ground in its well-being and influence, he said, the head of state, before reiterating his warm congratulations to the newly elected president of Mauritania. Under the chairmanship of His Excellency Mohamed Ali Hamed and pursuant to Rules 22, paragraph 1 and 2, the role of procedures, the first plenary session is of the first ordinary session of the Parliament, the year 2019 of the 8th legislature, this Sunday held June in the chamber of these sessions was attended by Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, Member of Government and all parliamentarians. In addition to the above mentioned, the participant, the member of the government, were challenged by the school children, member of these the children's parliament on news topics that are due to them. The sessions had for agenda the examinations of 4 bills and questions to the government asked by the deputies and the young people coming from the Parliament of Children. To know the agenda of this session is Labour Code, ratifying the agreement intergovernmental natural gas pipeline project, the exercise of the professions of chartered accountant and the functions of the order of accountant in Djibouti, concerning the modifications of the Article 435 during the Civil Code. Before the adoption of the project on the agenda, the parliamentarian and the member of government of the executive had intense exchanges on the various projects, and parliamentarians asked for clarifications on the security and economic benefits of ratifying the intergovernmental agreement for the natural gas pipeline project. The Minister of Energy gave detail on the contents of the tripartite agreement. The Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed has stepped up to show the importance of the tripartite project ratifying the agreement intergovernmental natural gas pipeline project. The visit of the Vice President of National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference at the invitation of the President of National Assembly, Mohamed Ali Hamed, the Vice President of the National Committee of this conference, People's Political Consultative Committee, CPPCC, Mr. Gu Chengua, led a high-level delegation from June 29 to July 2, 2019 to pay an official visit to the Republic of Djibouti. The delegation received a warm welcome from the President of the National Assembly on the tarmac of the airport international. Besides the President of the Assembly were also present the member of the offices of parliamentarian, member of friendship groups, China, Djibouti, cabinet members, the ambassador of the People's Republic of China, the commanders-in-chief of the People's Armies of China based in Djibouti. A delegation led by the Vice President of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, Gu Shenzhou, on a working visit to Djibouti, has carried out today successive immersions within the port of multipurpose DMP and the new international free zones at Pika 23, accompanied by several members of the National Assembly. The host delegations listened attentively to the explanations of these different institutions. This delegation went successively today to the DMP and within the new international free zones of Djibouti located at Pika 23. Several other national elected representatives accompanied this delegation during this visit to the key infrastructure of the national economy. It was under the auspices of the multipurpose DMP Wahib directors of that first visit. The Minister of Equipment Transport, Mr. Musa Mohammed Ahmed, went very early Saturday morning to Tajura to travel the road project in the north. During this visit, the Minister was accompanied by the General Director of the ADR, Mr. Subhani Saeed Ismail, the Director of Studies, Mr. Salah Ibrahim Osman, the respective senior officials of China First Highway and Al-Qarafi, both contracting projects underway in the north of the country. The minister was warmly welcomed by the Tajura Prefect, Mr. Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita, the director of the port of Tajura. Also, directly the Djibouti port corridors, Mr. Muhammad Obakar Saddiq, engineers in charge of the control of the work of which is the head of Department of Northern Region, as well as the local authorities, particularly the Deputy Prefect of Randa and Dora. A workshop to review the guidelines and recommendations from the work on the development of the national investment development strategy took place last Wednesday at the Campeski Hotel. This workshop was organized by the National Agency for the Promotions of Investment, ANP, and it brought together the Secretary General of the Ministry to the Presidency in charge of investment, the Director of the ANP, Mahdi Darar Obsiye, the various officials concerned ministries as part of the development of the national strategy for investment development in the Republic of Djibouti. The Ernest Young firms was recruited with World Bank financing following an international call for tender. As part of fight against illegal smuggling and the Coast Guard Djiboutians intercept in the evening of June 29, 2019, a large-scale flight from Luada to the south of this country from Somaliland. This speedback carried out the Benson Hedges cigarette and business royals for a total of 950 cartons of cigarettes. The Coast Guard is relentless in its effort to stop the activities of these smugglers who are trying to destroy the country's economy. The investigations was entrusted to the Brigade of Investigations and Judicial Affairs of the Coast Guard, and the bosses immobilized at the fishing port of Djibouti. On the occasions of the fair organized by the Mayor of Djibouti, the National Agency for Disabled Persons, a great animation was organized in front of the esplanade of the countries, the peoples, where the fair was held. The great national artists, Gesod and Humasonga, took part in these animations, and the children who took part in the fair took in the head the tubes interpreted by the artists. It was a moment of joy and sharing with children with disability who were They surrounded and supported by all the participants and organizers. The Day of Joy was closed by the directors of the mayor of the city, Fatuma Awali Usman. The city councils of Djibouti organized on June 27th a fair on the esplanade of the People's Palace. The initiative was part of the festivity on the occasions of the 42nd anniversary of our national independence. Traditional and modern games were on the menus of the activities to the fair organized by the City Hall in collaborating with the National Disability Agency on the esplanade of the People's Palace. Many other surprises too, which delighted the many children who came to the scene and the good scores of their respective parent. Traditional and modern game were on the menu of activities planned by the city. Many other surprises too, which delighted the many children who came to the scene and the good escort of their respective parents. The payment of the modest sums of 500, the novelty of the fairs. After the presentations of the President, the Director of NPH, Mr. Douali Said Mahmoud, thanked the Mayor of the city, Fatuma Awal Usman, all the participants, especially the young disabled people who share a moment of joy with all the assistants. Like other districts in the capital, the populations of the new city, Nasib, has organized ceremony of the commemorations of the 42nd anniversary of our country's accession to the country's national sovereignty, occurred on June 27 in 1977. The event was organized by the neighborhood councils called Nasib and saw the participation of all the inhabitants of the city. The patriotic fervor was palpable on the faces of the participants in the Feast of the Nation, which took place in the presence of the President of City, Nasib Mehdi Harun, and the head of the district, Mr. Abdullahi Rayali. The sub-prefectures of Tamerjog, Arta region, celebrate with pomp and patriotism the 42nd anniversaries of the accession of our country to the national sovereignty. A big ceremony was organized the day before of the June 27, 2019 on a place arranged for the occasion in the villages of Tamerjog, with a strong participation composed of the men, women and children. Folk and musical groups organized patriotic events to celebrate the 42nd anniversary. The ceremony took place in the presence of the administrative director, of the deputy prefect Abdi Shakib Noor, and parliamentarian Jibril Abdullahi Migane and Aisha Muhammad Abdallah, and of the Sunan Ilmi Hassan. In the region of Unity, the prefectures did not miss the ceremony of the 42nd anniversaries of independence organized by the prefecture of As'ila in the partnership with local association. All populations of Gobal participate with the sustained animations of text associations that Arho and others, the local officials of notable, the elders, the women participate in the evening with the presence remarks of the young people of As'ila in folk dancing and martial arts. Demonstrations such as Dakaitoryu were present to the public to celebrate the 42nd anniversaries with pomp and fervor popular. After our brave soldiers positioned in Dumera in front of Eritrea celebrate with joy and the 42nd birthdays of independence of Djibouti, all elements of the armed forces deployed in Dumera in the under prefectures of Khorangar regions participate in the ceremony in the presence of the population the area. After a parade military moving followed by the raising of flag of Fatiha was recited to the soldiers died. Let us follow the atmospheres of the parade and troops in cadence step that took place in the presence of the senior officers of the Djiboutian armed forces stationed at Dumera on the civil authorities and the population. The elements of the Djiboutian armed forces deployed in Somalia in the framework of peacekeeping security in the Somali regions of Iran celebrate with pomp the 42th anniversaries of the accession of our country to independence. After the armed forces positioned at Beledweyne, the Djiboutian armed forces deployed in the Jalalaqsi city still in the regions organized an evening of a military parade to celebrate the event in the presence of the Somali authorities and members of the Somali army. The Djiboutian armed forces of Jalalaqsi under the command of Colonel Roble Abdallah organized a lively animations in the evening with patriotic song to celebrate the 42nd anniversaries. In the morning, a large parade was organized. The family of Umar Farah Rage is looking for his son Muhammad Umar Farah, who has been missing since Thursday, June 27, 2019, around 11 p.m. The last time he left home, he wore a brown shirt, and this one is a mental alien, and sometimes this patient touches it abruptly that it disappears. Nature's Delara's black complexions. Be sure to contact these numbers below in the case of you find 7738976777630971. For the international scene, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un historic meetings in the demilitarized zone lands checks exchanges in a symbolic place. It is the first time that an American president meet his North Korean counterpart in the demilitarized zone, the famous DMZ, no man's land, which separates the two Korea. Donald Trump has been successful. Kim Jong-un has accepted his last-minute invitations via Twitter. The leaders of the White House has crossed the boundaries marking the separations between the two Koreas in the villages of Panmunjom, where the 1933 armistice was signed. Donald Trump said he would invite Kim Jong-un to the White House. It is a great day for the war, he said. Kim Jong-un said he hoped to overcome the barriers by his links with Donald Trump. The fact that the two countries, despite a long relationship of hostility, could have shaken hands for the peace in the place symbolizes divisions. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.